You have to feel bad for Bows fans. Despite Birdo winning Pitcher of the Year, their team failed to make the playoffs. Heck, even as a neutral observer, I felt disappointed as the Bows racked up loss after loss. It's not from lack of trying, their defense was solid all season. Having the fourth lowest runs allowed is pretty impressive for a team that went 3-7. However, the same cannot be said about their offense, and nothing epitomizes their failure more than the performance of the first overall pick, Princess Peach. Before we start, I'd like to take a moment to explain my methodology. I calculated player statistics using all but one of the games the Bows played this season. The only reason why the first Bows Wilds game wasn't included is that the footage got corrupted and no one has a scorecard for the game. When determining what counts as a hit, I did not count any instance where a runner made it to base due to a fielding, item, or hazard error. Furthermore, I did not credit a batter with an RBI if at any point the scoring runner advanced solely due to an error. On the pitching side, since ASA games are 7 innings instead of 9, I calculated ERA by taking earned runs over innings pitched times 7 instead of times 9. With that out of the way, let's get into ripping apart the biggest bust of Season 2. The ASA is an extremely offense-heavy league where the league's average sits between 400 and 450. In the case of fireballing, a team's average can reach as high as 660. You want to know what Peach's batting average was? 152. Out of 33 at-bats, Peach recorded 5 hits. However, it should be noted that 3 of those hits were against the Eggs. Against teams that made the postseason, she only recorded 2 hits. The first came in the bottom of the third against the Monsters with a single shot out to center, and the second came in the top of the 7th against the Muscles in Week 2 with a hit out to right. However, suppose you want to be generous and count how many times Peach made it on base for any reason, including due to errors. Using this insanely generous metric, the number of successful at-bats increased to, drumroll please, 7. 7 times out of 33 at-bats. That's an on-base success rate of .212. Pink Yoshi had a better batting average. Not on base percentage, batting average. Pink Yoshi. I am not exaggerating when I say that Peach just might be the worst offensive player in the league. I'd even go so far as to say that a pink-shirted me would have done a better job at the top of the lineup. This isn't even a hypothetical. There was a pink-shirted me on the Bows who hit better than Peach did. Her name was Flenzy, and she had a batting average of 300. Compounding this was GMY Guy's questionable decisions for the batting lineup. To be fair, stat tracking in the ASA is still in its infancy. Heck, I had to watch 63 innings of baseball just to get the stats for this video, and discovered that 2 of the Bows games were reported incorrectly. However, despite the lack of hard numbers, surely Y-Guy must have realized that the back of the lineup was getting on base frequently, only for Peach to step up to the plate and immediately leave them stranded or hit into a double play. The result of this poor lineup was countless lost runs. Peach had numerous opportunities to earn an RBI this season, yet she ended it earning none. I even went back to check to see if she brought anyone home on an error, and I could only find one instance. Top of the 7th against the Muscles in Week 2. First, a hit out to right advanced Edward to third. Then, Kareem got hit with a shell, which allowed Edward to make it home. By contrast, Birdo had 7 RBI, and Flenzy had 3 RBI. And I didn't even need to split hairs over item errors. But don't fret, Peach fans, because she did lead the team in one offensive statistic: number of at-bats that resulted in a double play. She had as many double plays as she had hits this season. Not only that, but she's also one of the few players in the ASA to hit into a triple play. Truly an exemplar of preventing her teammates from reaching home plate. And you know what the cruel thing is? Peach wasn't even that bad of a pitcher. Sure, Birdo had the better statistical season, but the Princess wasn't too shabby on the mound. Her ERA was only 1 above Birdo's, and she performed better than KB did. However, the ASA doesn't allow for designated hitters, so a good pitcher who can't bat might as well be deadweight. And like deadweight, Peach dragged down the rest of the team's hitting success. The team's batting average was .379. If you remove Peach, the average jumps to .409. Enough said. What an absolute disaster of a first-round pick.
Honestly, this may sound dumb.
No, they're banking on Peach.
Peach might want... The Flowers might want them to hit something good here.
Oh,
I take it all back.
That's triple play.
That's game.
They ended it on a triple play.
A triple play that ends the game for the Flowers.
No player has ever sold...
over the Bows.
No player has ever sold more than Peach on the Bows.
Damn.